Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Newby. I'm a professor of history within the Rising Scholars program at Bakersfield College. Most of my classes, or a good number of my classes, are taught within the incarcerated population of Kern County. And this semester, within my incarcerated classes, I'm teaching Native American history exclusively for the first semester. And also for the first semester, my guys on the inside, and I can say guys in this case because they are all exclusively male students, have laptops and access to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation laptop rollout to build college literacy and computer literacy. And so my research that I focused on this semester was surrounding laptop use and Canvas use for incarcerated students and seeing how that would affect student involvement. And at the end of the day, how that would affect student participation in their grades overall. So this semester, I'm teaching 3 classes across 3 prisons. Uh, SATF, Substance Abuse and Treatment Facility, which is in Corcoran, North Kern State Prison in Delano, and Kern Valley State Prison in Delano. All 3 of these classes are laptop and Canvas classes. However, Kern Valley State Prison did not get their laptops until 2 weeks ago, so week 10-ish in the semester. So things had to change pretty rapidly at the beginning of the semester. Um, I gauged student interaction and student involvement primarily from interacting with my guys this semester, talking with them during and after class, and helping them use their laptops, as well as watching their grades and gauging those grades for similar assignments against previous classes that had those assignments without laptops. Um, what's interesting is initially I thought that the laptops would be completely like a good thing, naive in my approach, I suppose. But there are some pros. One of the pros that's immediately apparent is that the laptop use inside prisons is going to build computer literacy. I mean, it has to. The class essentially is forcing students to get familiar with laptops and computers in general, as well as building Canvas literacy. Now, these 2 things side by side may seem insignificant to the average college student who doesn't understand that many of the guys incarcerated right now in my classes, especially the older ones who we might colloquially refer to kind-heartedly as the OGs, may have never even seen a laptop or a computer for that matter, which is shocking to I think a lot of people, especially Gen Zers. Um, Learning to navigate a computer to highlight things and hold Control C to copy and Control V to paste. This is all brand new to many of my students. And just in general, learning these shortcuts and how to navigate Windows, for example, and Microsoft Word um, is really exciting for a lot of these students. That becomes readily apparent because by learning computer literacy and Canvas, they're preparing themselves for life on the outside when they get out, which includes going back to school, of course, especially in the case of Canvas, since we cannot exclude ourselves from Canvas in a post-pandemic world, but also in getting jobs or applying for different opportunities once they get out. So many of them saw this as a positive. What they really liked from a teaching pedagogical standpoint is the immediate access to their grades and professor feedback. Their Canvas is slightly different than the Canvas we're used to at Bakersfield College, but it does have many of the same features. And getting the professor feedback from many of them has proven to be exceptionally helpful. They also liked announcements and the announcement function. For many of the classes in prison, we meet once a week, and I cannot communicate with them outside of that meeting. So that meeting is at once lecture, it's in class work, but it's also office hours, all smashed into one session. With the announcement function, they actually get to hear from me, even though they can't respond, hear from me in real time and stay up to date with any changes that may happen. And a lot of them responded very positively to that. Furthermore, their laptops have access to EBSCOhost, and many of them really are excited about this. For those who aren't aware, our rising scholars are hungry for knowledge. They want to read, they want to learn, they want to rehabilitate anything they can get their hands on. So when I found out that they had access to EBSCOhost, I made an assignment that is fully surrounded in using EBSCOhost. It's fundamental. It's called building the archive. And essentially, students have to come up with a research question based on our topic and then search EBSCO to find 3 relevant articles. Here's the thing about Canvas in prison, or EBSCOhost in prison. Every article that they request has to be approved by the yard librarian. But once the article is approved, that article is now available for any CDCR inmate student from now until indefinitely. So by engaging in this building the archive assignment, the students were excited not only to increase their own knowledge, but to actively build a database of scholarly articles for future students. And they really got a lot out of that. So by utilizing this new tool in a way that brought the students into a greater goal of creating a scholastic community inside the prisons, I saw student involvement skyrocket. Having said that, there are some cons. The laptops proved to be a learning curve for many students, some of whom simply gave up. And what I mean by that is there were some students who didn't turn in assignments because they did not have enough self-confidence in their ability to sign on, figure out Microsoft Word, troubleshoot any tech issues, get into Wi-Fi range. That's another issue that I'm going to mention right now. I might as well right now. Wi-Fi for them is only available in the education building on their yard, and rising scholar incarcerated movement is heavily monitored and regulated within a prison. So some students cannot come to the education building outside of our pre-arranged class time. So it was difficult for some of them and hurt some of their self-confidence, especially if this was all brand new technology, to get from their housing unit to the education building to access Wi-Fi to see if there were announcements and to upload their assignments. But these students were in the minority across all my classes. The vast majority were much more involved due to laptop use. And the ones who weren't, I worked with very closely in the limited time we had. We troubleshot what we could, and in the most dire of circumstances, we reverted to handwriting just so that they could pass the class. I'll have to work new ways out in the future to dedicate more time to technical support. And finally, the last con here is that these are not great laptops. Think of them like a heavily knocked down version of a Chromebook. They have very limited space, but they function how they're supposed to. And I think that this is a really important step in preparing our incarcerated population for reentry into society. To know computer literacy, to know Canvas literacy, so that they can confidently continue their education once they get out. And I have seen better results in the grades that I have given since using Canvas this semester. So I'm very excited to keep this program going, and I think it's absolutely fundamental to building an incarcerated population that is less likely to recidivate among release. So thank you for listening. I know I went over a little bit. Please email me if you have any questions, and if you're excited about this type of education and what we're doing. And have a wonderful day. Take care.